Good morning, Division 17. We are going to start our math lesson for today. So our math lesson is about adding with regrouping using our 10 frame. Now this is just us starting to understand regrouping because it's a really big concept. But let's take a look at our numbers. We have two of these 10 frames. One is filled with blue counters and the other is filled with red counters. Now, how many blue counters do we have altogether? Do you know? Can you take a look and try to figure that out? Let's try. I'm going to try to count by twos to figure out how many blue counters there are. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So we can count by twos, or we can try to count, or we can count by ones. Either way, I'm always wanting to do less work, so I'm not sure about you, but if you want to do just counting by one, you can feel free to do it too. Let's double check our number and we'll count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 blue counters. And you see, I've put our number 9 right up there because that's what we're looking at. So now we're gonna look at our red counters. How many red counters do we have? Should we start to try to count by twos to see? Are you up for it? Let's see, how many red counters do we have? 2, 4, 6. We have 6 red counters. But let's try counting by ones just to double check. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is 6. Yay! So I've put our number 6 up here. Now, if we were going to add these two together, if we were going to add our 9 counters in our 10 frame and our 6 counters in our 10 frame, do you think that there might be an easier way to do this to try to figure out the answer? Now, what the easiest way might be is, instead of figuring out and counting how many are there, if we know that if all of the spaces in the 10 frame are filled up, we take one of the red ones from the bottom 10 frame, then we know that this is how many? 10. And how many are in each line? Do you know? Do you remember how many are in each line? Or what half of 10 might be? Let's see. Can we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 in each line. Do you know how to count by fives? I wonder if we can figure out our answer to 9 plus 6 if we count by fives, because we've got 1, 2, 3 fives, 3 groups of fives. Let's try it. 5, 10, 15. Oh my goodness. So, if we add all of our counters, our 9 counters and our 6 counters together, what do we get? Do you remember? We get the number 15. Now, we counted by fives, but we can always double check by counting by twos or counting by ones. So let's try counting by ones to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. so our answer is right. We double checked. We had 9 blue counters. So we had our 9 and we added 6 red counters, and those are our red, and it came to 15. Now, here's a question for you, and I'd like you to think about this. We moved our 1 red counter up into where our blue counters are in our 10 frame. Why do you think that might be easier to do when you're adding? It can be a tough question, but take a look, turn to your adult and tell them what your thoughts are about that. And is there another strategy that you can create to help figure out what the number 15 is as the answer in counting our 10 frames and our counters? Talk a little bit about it with your adult and see what you can come up with. Okay, boys and girls, today we are going to do subtraction with our 10 and our 1 blocks. So we're going to do some really big numbers here again, but this is just going to help us to be able to understand how to be able to subtract big numbers and what it looks like. So when we're subtracting, what we're doing is we're trying to find the difference, that's the special word, the difference between the 2 numbers. So our numbers are 55 and 34. So we're going to be doing 55 minus 34. So we can find the difference between the 2 numbers. So I see that the number 55 has how many 10s in the number 55? So remember, our 10s are on the left-hand side and our 1s are on the right-hand side. So how many 10s do we have in the number 55? We have 5 10s. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 10s in the number 55. Now, how many 1s do we have in the number 55? Do you know? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1s in the number 55. See, we've got our 5 1s, 5 10s. Now, let's take a look at our number 34. How many 10s do we have in our number 34? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. We have 3 10s in the number 34. How many 1s do we have in the number 34? Do you know? Can we count? Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one's easy to count by 2s. 2, 4. Now, so we have 3 10s and 4 1s in the number 34. Now, let's find the difference. So let's subtract 55 by 34. Okay, so we are going to, we've got our number at the bottom here. Now, I see that if I'm looking at both of these numbers and I'm taking numbers away, I see there's 1, 2, 3 sets of 3 10s that are in this equation. So you know what? Since they are the same, they cancel each other out. So we can take those out. Now let's take a look at the 1s that we have. Do we have any that cancel each other out here? Oh, there's 2 here. Oh, look, there's 2 there. We can cancel those out. Here, let's put these over here. And, oh, there's 2 here. There's 2 here. Let's cancel those out. So we've taken 4 and 4 out of our equation. Okay, so we're trying to find the difference between the 2. So how many do we have left if we are going to count the amount of 10 blocks and the amount of 1 blocks that are here? How many 10s do we have left if we canceled out 3 from the top and 3 from the bottom? How many are left? You got it. We have 2 left. 2 10s are left. How many 1s are left once we canceled out 4 from the bottom and 4 from the top to find the difference? You're right. We have 1 left. 1 little one. So if we're going to take a big number by 55, like 55 and minus 34, and use our 10 blocks, what is the difference between 55 and 34? It is the number 21. Now those are some really big numbers and some difficult things to take a look at. Now I am going to be giving you a sheet that has a few different activities on it that look just like this. Now when you're doing the activities and you're looking at each one of these base 10 blocks, what you can do instead is just, I wish I had a pencil, is just say, oh, there's 3 down here. I'm gonna cross out 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna cross out the same 3 up at the top. 1, 2, 3. And look, there are 3 1 blocks on the bottom. I'm gonna cross out these 3 1 blocks. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cross out the same 3 1 blocks up top. 1, 2, 3. Now you can only always cross out the same number. That's the rule. But each one of these different questions will allow you to do that. And then in the end, if you count how many 10 blocks are left and how many 1 blocks are left, that will be the difference in your subtraction question. So test it out today, boys and girls, and see if you can figure out what the difference is in each one of the activities today. Now, there are some really cool strategies that you might think are easier than what I've talked about. Maybe you can even talk to your mom and dad and see if there is a strategy that you'd like to use that would help you in these situations. Bye for now.